Hello, everyone. Happy New Year, and welcome to another episode of Once and Always a Fanboy with me, your host, Chris Cantada Force. This is the episode where I share my best experiences of 2024 interviewing actors and artists on my channel. Now, for those of you who have stumbled upon this podcast, yes, I know this is like the 6th episode only, but I've been lucky enough to be part of these press junkets for years now. And it just so happens that 2024 was like the year that sort of jump-started this career path into full throttle. I think if you count all the actors I've gotten to interview this year alone, it's still more than the people I got to chat with from 2016 to 2023. So thank you so much to Netflix, Disney+, Warner Brothers, and to the publicists, managers, and actors themselves for giving me their time. So let's start with the first one. Early on in 2024, I got to interview the cast of Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix. This was also the first time I got to try what they call specialty concepts. These aren't your straight up Q&As. It could be a challenge or a gimmick that has to be approved by the studios and the actors' publicists. I submitted 3 concepts, thinking that if I just get one, then that would be a win. But all 3 of my concepts were approved, and that sort of freaked me out because I've never done anything like this in a press junket ever. But it ended up being one of the best experiences, and it was the junket that started my specialty concept route in future interviews. I loved interacting with the cast, but the main highlight was getting to meet Ken Leung, who plays Commander Zhao. But to me, he will always be Sang from Rush Hour and Miles from Lost.
Now, wipe yourself off. You're bleeding.
That's me from a different movie. I loved how much you enjoyed saying that.
I know. Rush Hour is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. I even dressed up as you in one Halloween.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Wow!
That's awesome.
So a little
amazing.
spray dye. And
You had the scar thing too?
Yeah, I did.
Cool.
I'm also a big Lostie, so getting to meet you, Ken, I just had to geek out right now. It's
thank you.
such an honor.
Thank you, brother.
The next one is the junket I did for Beverly Hills Cop Axel F. Beverly Hills Cop 3 was the movie I watched heavily when I was in grade school. That and Coming to America. I loved Eddie Murphy so much, and I just ate up all of his humor. So obviously, I jumped at the chance to interview him. What's so cool is I also got to interview Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who also was part of my childhood. And we're practically of the same generation because when I was a kid, he was also a kid playing the lead role in Angels in the Outfield. So it was such a pleasure getting to interview these two.
I was born in 1985, so naturally, the movies I grew up to were practically your movies. I first saw you in Angels in the Outfield, then in my teen years with 10 Things I Hate About You, and so on. So getting to chat with you today was such a treat. So thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Well, it's great to talk to you.
Okay, take care.
See you again. Bye-bye.
So yeah, that's all. Thanks for your time. I just have to say, your films were one of the things I really enjoyed growing up. I was born in 1985, so Beverly Hills Cop 3 and Coming to America were the ones I heavily rewatched as a kid. Actually, Beverly Hills Cop 3 is my favorite. Maybe because it's what I watched so much as a kid. I think Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2 were pretty much more adult for my age at that time.
Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 3 took place in like a Disneyland type place.
Yeah, so it was my childhood for sure. So getting to talk to you today is just mind-blowing to me. So thank you so much.
God bless you, bro.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good one now.
This next one, I was extremely shocked that I even got to be a part of. Jennifer Lopez was someone I felt was just out of my league. Not only is she a great actress, she is also a great singer and performer. And at this point, I didn't have any big dreams or aspirations of who I would love to interview. I didn't know that dreaming big was even possible at that time. But it happened, and I was so grateful. Her movie Selena had a huge impact when I was still learning who I was as a musician, and it was so amazing to tell her that.
You did so well.
I got a lot of them.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for your time. But before I go, I just have to say, before being a content creator, my profession was a musician. And when I was 12, around 95 to 97, those were the years that really influenced my taste in music. Naturally, I started with rock music, but after watching Selena, there was a new space that opened up in my brain that really loved and appreciated that music. It was a different musicality from what I was used to since I was still young. And I feel I'm a better musician now because of it. So I just want to say thank you so much for helping introduce Selena to me.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Take care and have a good day.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
Bye.
Another actor I got to talk to whose movie had an impact on my musical growth was Mark Wahlberg. Again, never thought I would ever have the chance to interview him. I've watched so many of his movies and it was just surreal just to even speak to him.
Talking to you today means so much to me, mostly because one of your movies really helped shape who I was in the early 2000s, and that movie was Rockstar.
Oh, nice.
I watched that movie with my bandmates over and over, and it really inspired us and gave us the energy to work hard on our music. And a
Very
year
cool.
later, my band was signed to a major label. Rockstar
Wow.
was definitely a huge inspiration for me, and the fact that your character's name was also named Chris made it
Chris,
more
yeah.
special. So getting to tell you this really means a lot.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The next one was a first for me. I never interviewed people from the music industry before, and I was so excited that this group was my first. I've been a fan of KATSEYE for a long time, even before their Netflix documentary. So when I found out the group was coming to the Philippines, I jumped at the chance to meet and interact with them. The main interview was the Where Is It From challenge, but the latter half was me doing the touch dance challenge with them. Man, I was so nervous. But deep inside, I was so excited to do that dance challenge with them. For those of you who know me, you know that I enjoy dabbling in a bit of dance once in a while.
Are we gonna do like the, I'm gonna touch my own face or
Yeah.
Or-
Do
Why
the
don't we
own
do the
face.
own face?
Yeah.
touch our own face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know the dance?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not a dancer, but I'm a drummer. So
Okay.
that kind
You
of
got the rhythm.
got the rhythm. So how chill are we gonna? So are we?
Like,
I think just
small. Go for whatever your heart desires.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
I really worked my hips out.
Let's go.
Oh
let's
my
go.
god. Okay.
We're gonna cheer for you. We're gonna cheer for you.
All right. I don't want to hit anyone, so.
We'll just be like,
Oh, am I the only one who's good?
no, we'll do it.
we're
We'll
gonna
do
dance
it.
with you.
We'll do it. Don't worry.
Don't
Don't
worry
worry.
what's happening behind. Just live your
Yeah,
life.
don't worry.
Oh
Don't
my
worry.
God.
Live your life.
Live your life.
right.
This is your moment. We're here for you. Okay.
Another highlight of 2024 was the junket I participated in just a few weeks ago, and that was the Squid Game Season 2 junket in Seoul, Korea. That whole experience was a blessing. From being in Korea, to the amazing activities and activations we experienced, to the cast meet and greet, to the actual cast interviews, and to top it all off, the season was really, really good. So that in itself made the whole journey so memorable. It was the complete package for me when it comes to an IP, and I'm so grateful that I was able to be a part of it.
안녕하세요. 안녕하세요. 저는 필리핀 유튜버 크리스이라고 합니다. 반갑습니다.
어서 오세요.
반갑습니다. 저는 한국말 아직 못해서 인터뷰를 영어로 하겠습니다.
예.
Was that okay? Was that good? All right, good.
Perfect.
Very good Korean. Thank you.
감사합니다.
And of course, for last, I saved it for the very end because it's the highlight of my year when it comes to interviewing actors. Evangeline Lilly is a name that has been with me for decades, and it's because Lost was the first show I ever got obsessed with. Like, obsessed. It's also the show that my close friends were into as well, so it became a weekly ritual for us trying to figure out the theories and secrets of the show. And of course, Evangeline was one of my favorite actors from the series. I never thought I would get the opportunity to speak with Evangeline for a current project since she publicly said she would be taking a hiatus from acting. But because it was the 20th anniversary of Lost, and there was a documentary about the show that came out a few months back that she was also involved in, I felt this was my chance to try my luck. So I emailed her agent and lo and behold, received a reply. After going back and forth with figuring out the schedule, we finally picked a date for the interview. But what stressed me out even more was I was invited to Singapore for a Disney Showcase event on the date of the interview. I didn't want to reschedule anymore because I'm quite superstitious like that, and I felt if I rescheduled, then it would probably never happen anymore. So I conducted the interview in my Singapore hotel room with all my equipment, and the interview was better than I ever expected. She was such a great person to have a conversation with, and I feel like my life has been blessed by hearing her wisdom and her philosophies on life, which I never thought I would be getting from an interview. This was also the first interview when I first realized I could also do this on my own, that I don't have to always wait for a studio to get me for their promotions. Because up to that point, all these interviews were opportunities that were given to me by the studios. But I thought, what if these invitations stop coming? I mean, that's very much possible. What then? I mean, what do I do since this is something I would love to be doing for a very long time? So this interview with Evangeline proved to myself that this life was very much possible, even if I had to do it on my own. And we spoke for almost 30 minutes, which is 25 minutes more than what I'm usually allotted when I do these junkets, which led me to think, what if I started a podcast? And to make the long story short, well, too late for that. This podcast is now a thing. And it was because of my conversation with Evangeline Lilly.
Thank you so much, Evangeline. You are without a doubt one of my favorite actors. I've been interviewing for quite some time and I was just waiting for this moment to happen.
Aw.
And it finally did, so I really appreciate your time. Hopefully one day I get to interview you in person.
I would love that. That would be so great. I'm so flattered and so honored that you feel that way. Thank you so, so much. I'll see you next time, Chris.
Take care.
Bye.
So there. Thank you for listening to my best of 2024 episode. I really enjoyed reminiscing, and I'm hoping that 2024 was not the peak of what I could accomplish, but the beginning of something great. Hope you guys will be along for the ride as we start this new year. If you're listening to this on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, hope you could find the time to follow and rate the show. It will really mean a lot. That's it for this episode, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.